morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is FlossTube number 184. It is Sunday, April 2nd, and I want to say welcome to my channel. If this is your first time finding my channel, finding me, then I hope you like what you see. Want to hit like and subscribe and all the good FlossTube stuff. I do have a super thanks button on the channel down below if you want to say thanks in a monetary way. That is always super appreciated. Of course, it is not required or expected, but it is there for you if you want to use it. Minute I start talking, Baggy has to join in. Come here, baby. Come here. Let's let you say hi at the beginning so we don't. He is so heavy to pick up, you guys. This is what a 21-pound cat looks like. He'd be a good roast. Yes. This is Bagheera. For those of you who are new, he makes an appearance maybe 50% of the time. Sometimes he ignores me, but it just seems like there are days when I start talking to my camera and he just wants to get in on the action. Where was I? Oh, I always give sort of like the Southern California weather report. Today is gorgeous, super bright blue sky. We had rain last week, Wednesday and Thursday, and oh god, now there's hair everywhere. And we have no more rain expected, at least for another week and a half. Towards the end of next week, temperature's supposed to start getting up into the low 80s. So I don't know if the rain is done. We've had a lot of rain, it seems, this year. I don't know if it's done now or if we're gonna have more storms coming back through. So I guess we will see. I hung Gigi yesterday. Hopefully you guys can kind of see her in all her glory up there next to Eva. So I think I have room for at least 2 more, maybe 3. I might have to end up squishing them, but it's a little bit difficult for me to get up there just because, you know, I have a step stool. I still don't feel super confident when I get up on a step stool, so, you know, I have to be careful. So I don't want to like get up there and hang out, you know. But I think she looks good hanging up there, and I am enjoying having her on display. As a reminder, our Zoom Stitchy meetup for April is going to be on the 16th, so 2 weeks from today. Yeah. At 2 o'clock. I do just kind of want to give a heads up to you guys. All the information for getting onto that call is below. Between now and then, I'm going to try and remove Zoom from my Chromebook, reinstall it, do all the things. Hopefully that will fix whatever problems I was having last time with getting booted off of Zoom. What are you doing, sir? So hopefully that will fix the problems. If it doesn't fix the problems, I'm gonna have to look into possibly using like Google Meet or some other sort of online meeting thing. Google Meet, if I got the paid version, is a little bit cheaper than Zoom, so that would be good. But I have no idea what it's like, so I'm gonna have to look into that if it doesn't work next week. But I just want to, or not next week, in 2 weeks. I just want to kind of give you guys a heads up. I so enjoy having the online meetups, and I don't want to stop them. But last time was not super fun for me because I was getting kicked off like at one point it was like every 10 minutes. So, and then it ended. So I don't know if it had something to do with how many people were on, because it was at the height of the most people, and then as the meetings kind of started to taper off and there were less of us, I didn't get kicked off. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. But I mean, there's not supposed to be a limit, I don't think, on the number of people when you have a paid subscription. I mean, people do meetings with hundreds of people. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it a little bit further, and then if there continues to be a problem, then I will have to look into something like Google Meet. So hopefully that wouldn't be a hardship for any of you guys. If you can load Zoom, you can have Google on your computer, and I think if you have a Google account, which anybody with Gmail automatically has a Google account, then we can use a Google Meet or something. But let me know your thoughts on that if you have any experience with this stuff. I use a Chromebook at home. That's all I have is a Chromebook. I mean, I do have a little Android tablet. I'm not super familiar with that either. I use it, really, I got it just so I could see my Chatelaine patterns online. I mean, on a screen. So, yeah, so I don't have a PC. So that, the Chrome issue is the problem with Zoom, because apparently Zoom has always had sort of an issue with Chrome. So anyway, last week at work was busy again. Lots of paperwork due for clients, but I think it's easing off, and next week is going to be a much easier week for me. It's going to be a short week because I am going to not be at work on Monday or Friday. Tomorrow is the B'nai Mitzvah for Reagan and Logan. So you say B'nai Mitzvah when it's both, you know, when you're talking about boys and girls. A girl is a bat mitzvah, a boy is a bar mitzvah, but together it's B'nai Mitzvah. Mitzvah is a good deed or a good thing. So it's basically bat mitzvah means like daughter of the good, and you know, and it basically is just sort of the ceremony welcoming a teen into the Jewish community so that they can be counted as an adult. We have certain ceremonies and prayers that can only be said when there is a minyan, which means 10 men of the community. Originally, now it's 10 adults in the community, men or women. And you don't have to have the bar mitzvah to be an adult, but it is a ceremony that kind of welcomes you in. And basically the only like thing that happens is that the celebrant is called to the Torah. They don't actually have to read the Torah. They say the prayer when they're called to the Torah, and then the Torah is read. In Jewish tradition, we read the Torah not only on Saturdays, but also on Mondays and Thursdays. So a bar or bat mitzvah can happen any of those days. And originally, Reagan and Logan, their family was going to actually go to Israel and do a private B'nai Mitzvah at the Wall. That was scheduled for right in the middle of the pandemic. So, of course, that got put on hold. And then with them deciding to move, and, you know, so money situation is different, they decided to go ahead and do one here. Logan and Reagan are 2 years apart and have always been super close. So they had no problem doing a joint ceremony. In fact, they kind of prefer it because neither one of them necessarily wants to be the center of attention, and they definitely didn't want to be the center of attention like at a public, in a temple or anything like that. So they're having a little private one tomorrow with just their friends and family and stuff like that. So that should be fun. I'm excited to celebrate with them. I'm been asked to do a reading. So I have an honor, they call it, you know, I was given an honor at the ceremony, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I have to remember to wrap their gifts tonight, which I would tell you, but I know sometimes they watch my videos, so I don't want to say anything this week. But I'm looking forward to that, and that's going to be Monday, tomorrow, and then Friday's Good Friday, and the people I work for are very observant Catholics, so I am the lucky Jewish girl who always gets Good Friday off work, because the office is closed, and so because it is not a holiday for me, I just get to have a day off, so I'm looking forward to that. This week does start Passover. Wednesday night is the first Seder. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be going to a Seder this year. It just didn't work out with everything that's happening with my family. And there are community Seders at the temples, and I could have like gone to one of those, and I just didn't really think about it soon enough. So that probably will be what happens next year. But it doesn't matter. I can miss it this year. Anyway, so that's what, is happening in my world next week. Today, I am so excited. And of course, I started my video late this morning. I woke up really early, like 5 o'clock in the morning or something, with stomach cramps. I am on medication that occasionally affect my stomach, and they're the kind of things that you need to pay attention to. If you're getting that kind of stomach cramp, you better pay attention, or you will regret it. So of course I had to spend some time in the bathroom this morning at 5 o'clock. So I was tired. I went back to bed, and I just didn't want to get up at my normal time. Normally I get up at 7:30 to do these videos on Sunday, and I kept saying, oh, give me half an hour, and I finally got up at 9. So it's 10 after 10. So of course I'm running late today when I have plans this afternoon, but hopefully my video will upload fast and I can get everything together in time to leave at about 1:30, because I am meeting Julie, Stitching at the Cabin, for a late lunch at Panera and to exchange some stuff and just to schmooze. I'm very excited. Julie is one of the few people that I've actually, like stitching friend, community friend that I've actually met in real life. Last time we met was in the height of the pandemic, when everything was closed, and we basically both stood outside, like 12 feet apart and talked in a parking lot. Today we're going to actually meet at Panera, which still has outdoor seating, so we can still be safe and everything, but we're going to be able to have a late lunch together. That is something that can't happen very often because, as her channel title suggests, Stitching at the Cabin, she and her family own a cabin up in the mountains here, and they go up there almost every weekend. So she's not around, but she texted me, I think Thursday, and she was like, okay, no promises, but I don't think we're going, and I don't think we have any plans. I'll have to ask my husband, but do you want to get together? So of course I was like, yes, please. And we're going to meet. So I'm really excited about that today. Okay. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. We should do like a collab video, right? Because that would be fun. Like we were like professional FlossTubers or something. Or I should say professional YouTubers. I don't think there's such thing as professional FlossTuber. I did my sparkly floss video and put it up actually Tuesday instead of Wednesday. I jumped the gun a little bit. And so if you haven't seen it, check it out. I think it turned out pretty fun and interesting. And, if you are a fan of sparkly floss, it might, maybe tell you some stuff you don't know already. And if you've never used it, it might give you the encouragement to try. But I had fun putting that one together. So check it out. And I think that's about it for all of my rambling. We can get into the projects, which I know is what you guys are waiting with bated breath. Okay. I didn't do any paper crafting or little glow and book journal stuff this week, and I didn't do any diamond painting. I was gonna do diamond painting. I had every intention, I think, Friday, and I was just exhausted. I basically was a couch potato and did nothing, which I don't do that very often. I like to be doing something, but I was just watching TV. That was it. I did have 2 new starts basically yesterday, right? Because I waited until it was actually April to start my 2 April projects. So, the first new start is the mini solar system. Now my April theme again is friends and family. So everything that I'm working on is either inspired for a friend or for a friend or family member. Yeah, so I mean that's my theme. So this is the mini new solar system. I saw this pattern when I was looking, when I got, I think Pinky and Blue Boy is when I saw this, and I just really was drawn to it, and realized like I really want to stitch that, but it's not something I necessarily want to have. I mean, you guys know how that goes. But then I realized also that my brother's totally into science, and both my nephews are really into science, and Hudson is really into the solar system and space and stuff. So I think that this is going to be for Hudson. Again, Hudson is 8. He will get this, who knows, maybe for his bar mitzvah, maybe when he turns 18 and graduates high school. I don't know. Maybe he'll get it when he gets married. I have no idea. But I think that I will be stitching this with him in mind. So this is artwork by Adrian Chesterman. And again, it was charted by Artecy. And I am stitching this on, I ended up using a 22 count Hardanger to stitch this, and I had every intention of just doing it 10 stitch, but then when I started stitching on the Hardanger, the 2/110 just wasn't giving me the coverage I wanted, so I went ahead and I did full cross. And so here is my massive start on that. Look at how vibrant all those colors are. I think it's going to be really cool to see how this progresses, you know, with all of the space and then the bright planets and stuff. And I put a garm guard of, you know, space paw prints here. But the colors in this, I mean, yes, there's a lot of darks, obviously, like dark blue and black and stuff that's going to be the background, but there's a lot of bright colors in here. So I have a feeling it's going to be pretty cool to see as it progresses. Okay. Then the second thing I started was the next bird that I'm doing for my friend Tracy. So this will be my third bird. I have previously done chickadees and blue jays for her, and now I'm doing a cardinal. So that one, same one. Just got a small start on it. I'm stitching this on the tan color backgrounds fabric. So basically I had an eBay purchase of backgrounds. Let's see if I have the package in here. Okay, so True Colors backgrounds fabric. So I have no idea how old this is. This isn't something that's being made anymore. This is what the package looked like. The color is, I don't know if this is the Chantilly. Anyway, there were 3 colors that I got, and I got 2 packages of each color. So I got a blue, a tan, and a pink. They're all very light, very lightly modeled, printed fabrics. And each package cut in half is enough for 2 bird projects. So so I have 4, I can do 4 birds in each color. So the first ones I did on the blue, that was the chickadees. Then I did a blue jay on pink background, and then this cardinal is going to be on the brown background, and then I'll just go back and forth and just continually stitch birds for Tracy, because she really likes the natural birds. I have that one booklet that has several different birds, and then I've gotten a couple from Crosswing collection. So she kind of likes the birds that they actually get in their backyard. She lives in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh. So I don't know what the next one will be. Maybe a hummingbird, because I did get a nice package. I mean, a nice crossed wing. I got, this is Backyard Favorites by Crossed Wing. And then I also got a hummingbird set. Yeah, these are all hummingbirds. So once I get this Cardinal done, then she and I can figure out what the next one will be. Okay, so those were the new starts for this week. Whips. I worked on, let me show you this first. Oh, just because it's big. So I put, this is a Let Sleeping Dragons Lie, and I put it on a Q-snap, and I don't really like moving Q-snaps on and off fabric, so that's partly why I don't use them very often, because hoops I basically take off every time. But Q-snaps are a bigger pain in the rear end to put on. And I decided to use a Q-snap with this just because there's so much extra fabric, and it's hard to wrangle it. So I just wanted to get it wrangled once and then leave it. So, so I'm using a pillowcase because I don't have any like giant, well, I have a couple giant things, but they're got other projects in them. Tracy made me some project bag type things that hold my gianter things. So anyways, you can see I got sort of maybe, what is that? A third of a diagonal done in one evening. This is on 28 count Lugana that I dyed myself, and I'm doing 2/110. This is oh, I didn't even show you the picture. Okay, picture. Let Sleeping Dragons Fly. So no background, so that's why I dyed a pretty fabric. And I am in this corner down here. And I was trying to figure out like how many diagonals is it gonna take to hit dragon. And I'm on like what, 3 or 4 right now. I think it's gonna take like probably till 8 to hit colors other than green. But you know, I like green, so that's okay. And I still really enjoy stitching on it. So I don't know if I have, I don't think I have this one in my April theme rotation, which does not mean I can't work on it anyway, but I don't think I do. But in May, it will come back out, because in May, I will be working on fur, feathers, and scales. So that will be all of my cats and birds and dragons. Okay. I worked a little bit on my Be My Own Valentine SAL chart. This one just is taking me forever this year. I don't know why. Last year I got it done, you know, in February. This year it's taking me some time. That's okay. It'll be done before the end of the year. I brought border around, and I think, you know what, I think that might be all I did was border. Okay, and then I have 2 more. I have Ella and Sweet Pea Fairy, and both of these ladies I was like working on skin, so I was doing a lot of like little stitching at the beginning of the week, and I made a big dent in it. So this is Ella the Frog Princess by Mirabilia. And she is the first 1/1 skin chart that I started. So it is 1/1. This is a 28 count, who knows what, 28 count mystery crappy piece of fabric. I mean, I like the color, but I didn't realize I started this when I was a baby stitcher, and so there's things that I wouldn't have done. Like this fabric has weird sort of lines on it that I'm hoping won't really show when I get everything done. But anyway, so her skin is 1/1. I love the way it looks. But I finished her entire like neck and a good chunk in her face. I mean, she looks kind of weird now, but I definitely like the way 1/1 skin looks on the fancy ladies. It is, you know, obviously it extends the skin part to be four times as challenging or 4 times as long, but I do really like the way it looks. And then last but not least, Sweet Pea Fairy, which is by Joan and Elliot. And so for her, I decided to try 2/110 for the skin. And I didn't really realize when I started this that this is a 36 count, not a 28 count, or I'm sorry, 32 count. Yeah, 32 count. Until I started doing it, I'm like, why is this so much more challenging? I'm doing 2/110 on so many things for full coverage, and then I realized it's because this is not 28, it's 32, and it makes a significant difference in the ease of stitching. Doesn't seem to make that much of a difference when I'm doing like full cross, you know, 2/1, but for the 10 stitches it does. But she looks great, right? I mean, she's a torso right now, but I did fill in the chest and go up into the neck and did more on her hair, and this shoulder is done. Ooh, my stomach clock just went off. Didn't eat breakfast before I started doing this video, and I am regretting it now. Okay, so that is all of my stitching for the week. However, those of you who watched my video last week know that I started a new thing. I started teaching myself how to crochet. I was really surprised how many of you commented that you crochet too. You've been crocheting forever. It's so funny because it's like I feel like I watch a lot of FlossTube, but I don't see anybody talking about crochet. A lot of people talk about knitting, but not crochet. And you know, it's something I've never done. I've knit before. I don't totally enjoy it. And I'm not very good at it, so I just don't like to do it. But with the crochet, I am really, really enjoying it. I'm finding it very relaxing. Now my hands are getting a little bit crampy, especially when I start something. So I'm still kind of learning how to hold the stuff, not like a caveman, trying to hold things in a relaxed way so my hands don't get cramped up. But I am enjoying it. I have discovered that it's easier for me to learn, even to like do a pattern, watching a YouTube tutorial video, the written patterns. I'm learning. But watching the YouTube tutorial videos is good because I actually started, you know, when I watch it, I write down the pattern because I usually have them listed. And so writing the pattern, copying what they have on the screen is kind of teaching me how to read the pattern at the same time, if that makes sense. So let me show you what I finished this week. So I had 2 things that I had started last week that I showed you. One was this scrubby washclothy thing that I wanted to try, this scrubby yarn. I lost the plot somewhere with this a little bit. Like when I showed it last week, I was all like proud because it was straight. And then I started stitching again, and I was going from memory, so I think I may have screwed up what the pattern was because it started kind of angling up. So I tried to kind of fix it. I you know, I kind of jerry-rigged it because you can't really see it anyway, and it's meant to be a scrubby, right? I'm going to actually use this. It's going to be dedicated to scrubbing out Baggy's water dish that's in my bathroom, because I usually don't use anything on it, because like the sponges and stuff that I have in there are used on other, like, you know, the sink and stuff, and I don't want to use that on Baggy's dish. So I'm like, I should have a dedicated thing in there for him, and this will be it. So anyway, I tried to fix myself, get back on the square, and got it to, you know, like a square size. And then I saw on another video, they had made like a scalloped edge on a slipper, and so I remembered how they did that, and I just kind of put a scallop on it just to kind of finish the edge. But, you know, I mean, it's definitely not perfection, but it doesn't really matter. It was practice for, you know, for doing it. And yeah, I'm happy with that. It came out, and it's weird that it's scrubby and everything. So this is gonna go into my bathroom, dedicated to Baggy's water dish. So that was done. Then I finished my zippered bag. Oops. I did post this on Instagram. I'm pretty happy with how this came out, even though my tension on it was very loose, so it's very like lacy, holy. Like, I don't know what I could actually use this for, but I finished, you know, the bottom. But I really like it, so I'm thinking I can actually just use it to hold yarn, you know, like extra balls of yarn or that kind of thing. In fact, I had 2 balls in here. And I had to take them out because I couldn't show it to you that way, because it just looked wrong. Use your imagination. Anyway, so I finished that. Apparently these things are called palms or something, or puffs. There was another like tutorial thing I was watching, or I was reading, I think I was reading it, and it showed how to make these things, and they were calling them puffs. So, so I know how to make puffs. So I have learned, I know how to do slip stitch, I know how to do a single crochet, I know how to do double crochet, I know how to do half double crochet, I know how to decrease in both half double crochet and double crochet. So yeah, I'm just really happy with it. I think it looks so pretty. It's nice yarn. It's nice and squishy. And again, because it's so, like, it's like, I don't think I could use it as like a purse or something, because everything would fall through, because I stitched it so loose. But, you know, all of that is going to get better with time. And now what I want to make is slipper socks. I'm not, you know, like, I want to stick with like smaller things that are finishable for a while, because I don't want to overwhelm myself and like go, oh, I'm going to make a blanket and get, you know, $50 worth of supplies and then get stuck with this big long thing that I'm never going to finish. So I watched a couple tutorials. One tutorial I really liked, and it called for bulky yarn. So I didn't have any, so I ordered bulky yarn. There I go saying I'm not going to order stuff. And I did. I ordered. But again, when I have ordered stuff, I've looked on Amazon and I've gotten less expensive stuff. So for the one that needs bulky yarn, I got this skein, which was, again, it was like $3 or $4. And it's really pretty, but it's a solid color. I kind of wanted something variegated. The variegated ones were like $10 each, and I didn't want to pay the $10. But this is really pretty. This is Lion Brand Hometown. So my other, the yarn that I used for this was also Lion Brand. So apparently I like Lion Brand. Yes. So this is Hometown. And so these bulky slippers, I'm going to either try them in that or I'm going to try them in this. So I got 2 cakes. Are they called 2 balls, 2 cakes, whatever. This is also Lion Brand. Mandala Thick and Quick. These were also inexpensive. I think they were maybe $5 each. But I got 2 of them. These were the ones that were in the bag that I had to remove because it just didn't look appropriate. But the only thing is like the on the tutorial she used one that was more, this is more like a stripe, and she used one that was more like what I'm going to show you next, where it was bits of color so that it doesn't necessarily stripe, it just has multiple colors. But anyway. Okay, and then yesterday, I pulled out one of the yarns that I had bought previously that I showed you last week. These. This is called, what does it say? They're Premier Home Cotton, but they're washable. And again, I watched a slipper, like a house slipper sock tutorial. These are more like a ballet style, you know, just where they just cover your foot. So I watched that tutorial. I started the thing and I did, this is like the middle of the sole. And I did as this much and I realized I had a bunch of mistakes. So I looked at it and I realized what I had done. I skipped certain chains and stuff like that. So I cut this off. And then I started a new one and I did the whole slipper, right? So the tutorial was for a size 6. And she used, I think her yarn that she used was maybe a little bit thicker than the one I used. But in addition, sorry. So her tutorial was for a size 6 and I wear a size 10. So I kind of did a little bit of calculation because she said that, you know, from toe to heel was like 9 inches. And I figured out, you know, how long my foot is and everything. And so I decided, okay, if I added like 4 inches to the length, that it would work. So I did the whole slipper and tried it on. I mean, it took me several hours, you know. I love these like 1-hour patterns and it takes me 6, but it took me a while to do the one slipper, and I was learning as I went along. As I said, I learned how to do half double crochet and double crochet and all these other stitches, so it was a good learning tool. And then I got done, I tried it on, and it was like way too big for my foot. So I'm like, okay, part of it is probably because my yarn is a little bit thinner. Part of it is probably because my tension is looser and I stitch looser, whatever. So this is the nice thing that I learned about crochet. I just pulled the whole thing apart and rolled it back up in a ball. So the time was wasted, but I don't think it was, because it was learning time, if that makes sense. I rolled it all back up. And I redid it, and I did it according to the original pattern, because I figure if she's a size 6, but I'm stitching it loosely, then it would fit. And I made one, and it does. So I still have to do the second one, of course. But here is my slipper sock, my ta-da, and it fits my foot. I mean, how do you show a sock when it's not on your foot? I mean, I think I did pretty good. I mean, I think my stitches are pretty, like, even. I was paying attention. I was careful. When I got to the end here, the back, I made one of these little, basically, I just, you know, crocheted 5 stitches in 1 stitch to make a little scallop. Just, you know, that was my own addition. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, as I said, it doesn't, I mean, it's just not going to look exactly the same as the expert who did it. And I stitch way slow. I mean, she made this whole thing in like a 40-minute video, explaining everything. And I did it in a couple hours. I mean, I stopped to eat dinner in the middle, but, you know, but still, I mean, I think it's got my hair stitched into it. Between me and Baggy, everything that I make has hairs in it. But yeah, I mean, I think I did a pretty good job. Like I said, I mean, I think the stitches look pretty even. And I understand, like, my brain understands, like, the difference between double crochet and single crochet. And I don't think I've done triple crochet. I did double crochet and half double crochet. And my brain understands, like, yarn over, you know, how many loops you're pulling through, and yeah, so it's making sense, which is good. So I liked yesterday watching the tutorial. So I wrote down the 2 slipper patterns. And again, right, like I said, writing it down is helping me to learn how to read the patterns, because, you know, when you first look at a pattern, even though you understand what the symbol, or not symbols, but the abbreviations mean, it's still really overwhelming. But it's less overwhelming because I've written them down myself, you know, so when I look at one, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, it's flowing in my brain. It doesn't just look like a blob of scary. So this are the bulky slippers, which I haven't started yet, but I got the yarn for, and then the little slipper, ballet slipper things. So making the one slipper took less than a ball, or less than, you know, I have quite a bit left. I have, you know, that much plus that little ball I showed you. But I think when I do the second one, I'll start a new one just so I don't have to worry about running out. And yeah, so that's the next thing I have to do, is this companion, because obviously I can't wear them until I have 2. And then I have that other yarn that is the same brand as this, just a different colorway, that I might do another pair of these. I like to wear, like, sock things on my feet when I'm home. I don't ever wear shoes at home. And I'm really excited to try the bulky ones. Those looked easy to do, fun to do with the bulky. Now that I think about it, I hope that this is enough for 2. I don't know. So I might have to start with these because I have 2. So the difference is this one, you chain a chain, and then basically are doing it around this way. So you're starting like the bottom of the foot, and the bulky one, you're starting at the toe, and you go up the toe, and then when you get to the top of the foot area, you kind of do it in rows around the heel. But again, because it's bulky, it goes really fast, or it looks like it goes really fast. So anyway, that is what I have done with the crochet. And I have my bag, which again, I think might be a yarn bag because I don't know what else to do with it. I would like to try doing this again using what I know now, and hopefully I could make it tighter. Because the ones that the examples are not loose like this. They're tight. Like you could put pencils in them and they wouldn't fall out. So okay, so that is my crochet. And then haul is just these 2 things of yarn that I got. Ouch. Okay. One other quick thing I wanted to like kind of talk to you guys about. I have 2 past designs that I did for myself. But I know a lot of people do like put designs on Gumroad, and then, you know, it's kind of like pay what you want kind of thing. And I've been thinking about doing that. I don't know if it would be worth it. I have lots of ideas of designs. Part of the reason why I don't like do a lot of stuff is because I don't necessarily want to stitch it. Even though I have designs for it. in my head. But I wanted to show you guys these again because I know, you know, since I did these, I have a lot of new subscribers, so maybe you've never seen them. So I did this Tikkun Olam chart, and this Tikkun Olam, I mean, this is a good time to bring this out because Tikkun Olam is a concept in Judaism, basically means repairing the world, which is whatever that means to you. So it could be, you know, charity, tzedakah, which is charity, you know, like collecting money for the poor or whatever, but it also could be being green or recycling or volunteering at a theater or whatever it is. Tikkun Olam means repairing the world. So I created this little chart, and I offered to give it away to anybody who asked me for it, and I have. I've given them like maybe 3 or 4 to people who asked for it, but I'm wondering if I should put this on a Gumroad, if anybody would be interested. So let me know if you would be interested in it. Again, it would be, you know, pay what you want kind of thing, so you could just get it for free, but you know, but it'd be nice to have my thing out there. And then the other thing that I did, and this is I'm really like proud of, but I don't exactly know how I would even make a chart for it because I didn't really make a chart. But I am really happy with this. This is my Kitsuji, I think it's Kitsuji, which is a Japanese art concept. Basically, it was pottery that was broken and then joined back together with gold or silver or platinum with precious metals lacquer. So you see these pottery pieces all the time where, you know, they have these like veins of a metal in with the pottery, and it's when you do that with the pottery, the joined places are actually stronger, and it's considered beautiful, like, you know, that it was something that was damaged, but it's even more beautiful now that it's been repaired. So I basically took that as like a philosophy, and I stitched this piece. I actually stitched 3 pieces of Aida together, 3 different colors of Aida, and then stitched the heart over all 3, and then stitched over the join. And then it says, more beautiful for having been broken, stronger because there are scars. And I really like the philosophy. I like how it looks. But this is another thing that I think would be maybe cool to have out there. But let me know. I don't know, you know, I don't really know what's involved in creating a Gumroad. I mean, I'm sure it's not that difficult, but I thought about it, and come on. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, if you've been with me for a long time, you've seen these pieces before. They're nothing new, but I know that there are people who haven't been with me forever. So let me know if you think that that's something that I should pursue, putting those in that kind of format, and then possibly putting more stuff if I think of things to put on there. But let me know. Okay, so plans basically for next week: more of the same, more stitching, my friends and family projects, more crocheting. Hopefully when I come back next week, I will have 2 of these to show you. And if I get them done, maybe I could take a picture of my gorgeous feet in these little slipper socks and put it on Instagram. I'm just really excited to have made something that I can use, that I can wear. Yeah. I mean, the reality is I don't live someplace where knitted wear is needed very much. Like, I don't live someplace where hats and scarves are a thing much. But socks, slipper socks especially, you know, I can always use those. So, you know, know, and if you can do a spurt in a day, then, you know, it's not something you have to work on forever. So I'm happy with that. Okay, I think that's it for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope that you have, if you celebrate Passover, I hope that it's wonderful for you. If you celebrate Easter, I hope that you have a fun and beautiful holiday. I guess I'll be back on Easter Sunday to do a video, because that's next week, right? Yeah. Until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.